Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great evening. I'm sorry that I'm filming this at around 10:30 p.m., but this is the first time I got a chance all day to actually put out content for you fine men and women of the audience. Let's talk about Palantir. A lot of people are excited and a lot of people are worried. The people that are worried are the people that probably just got into Palantir, pretty much started buying at around 17, 18, 19, 20 mark and have not been through dips. And to this, I'm going to say, welcome to the club. It's all good. Although I'm not a mind reader, I'm not, I don't have a crystal ball and I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, but I'm pretty sure Palantir is going to bounce back up past $20 mark sometime in 2024. Could be earlier, could be later, but I truly do believe we're going to bounce back. Now, the people that are happy are the OGs that have been in Palantir for a while. We're buying the dips all the way to $7, $8, even $6 mark, and are happy to be able to buy more shares. Now, on this channel, I got a lot of hate on this, and I probably lost like 50 subscribers. Not too many, but 50 subscribers or so when I was saying that, hey, Palantir is not going to stay at $21.50. It's not going to stay at 21. It's not going to stay at 20. At $20, it is richly valued. However, right now, Palantir is starting to get a lot more interesting and a lot sexier. Make no mistake about it, Palantir's price can drop more. It could go to 15, but I don't think it's going to go lower than 15. I could be completely wrong. I'm just giving you my own thoughts. Now, why is Palantir going down? Why is Palantir down like 20% this week or so? First was an analyst that absolutely hates on Palantir, and he's like a broken record saying the same thing literally every big contract that's about to happen, saying that the army is getting frustrated with Palantir and they want to talk about who keeps the data, but Palantir does not keep data. We don't have access to your data. And the army's data, the military's data stays the military's data. We couldn't use your data even if we wanted to because we don't have access to it. And this has been said time and time again, just like the NHS found out. So that's the first reason. That's why we had that maybe 10% drop, right, earlier this week. The second reason, Sampo, who's a partner with Palantir, sold out of around $600 million USD worth. It's like 87 billion yen. Sold shares out of part of their shares ownership of Palantir. Nobody knows why. There's no like crazy explanation for this. It is what it is. We don't know what Sampo is looking for. We don't know if Sampo's in trouble. We don't know if Sampo wants to take their money elsewhere and invest in their own company or into, one of their sub companies. We don't know that. But we do know that Sampo and Palantir signed and extended like a $50 million contract earlier this year. So Sampo and Palantir are just as strong as ever. With that said, you as an investor are looking for days and weeks like this. Nobody knows where this stops. And at the end of the day, you can't time the top just like you can't time the bottom and vice versa. You as an investor need to pick a company and either you are bullish or bearish, and you can make money in any direction, including a neutral stance. I, for one, put in an order for 20,000 more shares of Palantir through something called a cash secured put. And if Palantir hits $17 or less by Friday next week, not this Friday, I will be buying 20,000 shares. And I will add more to that 20,000 shares on top of the shares that I already have. In case you're new here, I believe that I have by far the most amount of shares of Palantir than any person covering Palantir. And if you want to know how much shares I have a shit ton of shares of Palantir. A shit ton. You see, I was taking advantage of selling covered calls, putting in orders for cash secured puts, and collecting a shit ton of money. Like just for doing this play earlier today, I collected $10,000 in premium. They're paying 50 cents a share. It's absolutely beautiful. So if I actually buy for 17, I'm actually buying for 16.50, not counting the premiums and the discounts I got from all the rollings and the wheel strategy that I've been doing and sold at 18.50 before. So, guys, at the end of the day, you need to pick yourself a strategy. And for me, I was waiting for the price of Palantir to go back down because I knew it was going to go back down. I've been saying this for quite a while. So, yeah, there's a camp of people that are super nervous and people that are super excited. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why you should be excited for 2024 when it comes to Palantir. But before I do, I find it really, really funny, and I'm going to show you a tweet in just a moment. All of a sudden, you have a bunch of bears coming out of their caves and are so happy that Palantir dropped to $17. They're like, Palantir is a loser. It lost billions of dollars from $21. Oh my God, you guys suck. Bro, Palantir is still up like 160% for the year. Like, it's still massively up. So how can you laugh at a stock that is one of the best performing stocks on the stock market, even with this week's retracement? Like, how? How is it possible that you can get so unhappy with your own measly, meager life that you try to put other people down when they're up 160% for the year? It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Take a look at the screen. Foremost, I want to give a shout out to Palantir's Palantir. This guy's name is Adam as well. I met up with him. He runs the Palantir Discord. Definitely check him out at Palantir. He puts out this tweet and he's following something called the JADC. And there's something called Titan, which is part of the JADC. Now, you might have heard of the Titan program before. That's where Palantir is competing against Raytheon. Not just Palantir and Raytheon. Palantir is teamed up with a few people, including Anduril, and Raytheon is teamed up with their crew. And we were supposed to get an answer back in September. Then it was pushed to December 5th. And then it was pushed to the end of this year, I'm sorry. And then on December 5th, it was actually pushed until next year between January and March. So I want to give a shout out to Palantir, Palantir's Palantir, because he really does a great job following specifically the JADC contract, which I'll explain to you in just a moment exactly what that is. And he put out this publication right here. So we're going to read this publication. Titan targeting contract to be awarded soon, Army officials say. I know this contract is worth over $1 billion. I believe it's worth like $1.5 billion or something. It's a ridiculous amount of money. This would be the most lucrative contract in Palantir's history and the biggest contract that was ever awarded by the military, if I'm not mistaken. I think the second biggest contract was actually awarded to Palantir, and it was like a $900 million contract. The program, dubbed Titan, has been moving through a 14-month rapid prototyping phase during which Raytheon and Palantir Technologies demonstrated competing systems. That effort culminated this summer with a demonstration called a Soldier Touchpoint. The acceptance test aimed at assessing the two systems' technical performance and usability. Brigadier General Ed Barker, the Services Program Executive Office for Intelligence, Electronic Warfare, and Sensors, told reporters December 5th that those summer demonstrations will inform which of the prototypes the Army chooses to field. The decision, he added, is expected between January and March. And I quote, the selected vendor will further mature their prototype through more soldier touch points. Those are demonstrations, he said during a media briefing. And then we intend to have some of the capabilities issued to designated units to allow them to refine the feedback. Back in 2022, Palantir and Raytheon both were awarded a $36 million contract to start building out their prototypes. Before that, they were also awarded a smaller contract, if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, like a $9 million contract. The winning contractor will develop two variants, an advanced and a basic system. Barker said by 2026, he noted the service hopes to have a decision on whether the capability will transition into a formal acquisition program, a phase referred to a major capability acquisition pathway. As the Army eyes the upcoming Titan decision point, it also is considering how the system might be integrated with their portfolio and how it could be impact other modernization initiatives. Now, if you guys remember, we're able to get a massive $250 million contract literally for research and development in artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is very, very interesting and very dope. Now, I want to go a little bit further and explain to you a little bit what JADC is. So, this is a publication that also recently came out, and it says there's a bill that urges Pentagon to speed JADC2 transition into focus on the Indo-Pacific. So JADC2 stands for Joint All Domain Command, and 2 stands for center, and they're adding more capability to be able to work with their allies. I believe JADC is currently being used in Israel. That's why they have such better precision, and they're pushing this forward. U.S. lawmakers are urging the Department of Defense to prioritize the Indo-Pacific as it interlinks soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and their disparate databases in a multi-billion-dollar effort known as the Combined Joint All-Domain Command and Control. Combined is the allies. That's the actual word that they use, combined. And joint all domains literally means space, air, sea, land, so on and so forth. Titan is part of this, all right? Companion bills filed this week by Representative Darrell Issa, a California Republican, and Senator John Ernest, an Iowa Republican, instructed the department to address Indo-Pacific Command's long-range networking and intelligence sharing needs first. The command's remit includes China and North Korea, as well as Australia, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. The Biden administration considers the region critical to international stability and financial well-being. Back in March of 2023, the Pentagon requested more than $3 billion for artificial intelligence and JADC2. The DoD fiscal 2024 budget request including $1.8 billion for AI and $1.4 billion for the JADC. Now, this $1.8 billion, make no mistake about it, a shit ton of that money is going to Palantir. Stuff like this is what pays for that $250 million contract that Palantir got earlier this year. As a matter of fact, this is the most amount of money for artificial intelligence and software that the DoD, the Pentagon, the military has ever requested. You see, it's really, really interesting. While the budget of the United States military spending right now is around $843 billion, if I'm not mistaken, something like this, only a handful of billions, only a handful actually goes to meaningful software. And this is something that Dr. Alex Karp talks about, that we need to increase that spending on software to around 5%. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 0.5% right now. I think Karp said is like 0.2%, if I'm not mistaken. I did some calculations based on a few things, and I got more than that, but definitely under 1%. So think about that. Increase of budget spending is going up, but are they increasing the spending on software? I believe that they are gonna now. I believe they see the strength in software. I believe they see the value in it. And I believe that when Trump is here, Palantir is going to get even more contracts and even more money. So a lot of people are worried about Palantir and the price of Palantir going. Palantir literally went from $6 to $21.50 almost straight up. And now it's trading at $17, and some people have the nerve to make fun. It's freaking hilarious. And you could see it in my comments. Just go to my last videos. People are literally clowning on Palantir. Look, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I just put in an order for 20,000 shares, and I'm going to be buying more. 000 shares. That's a lot of shares, and that's a lot of conviction in Palantir. By no means is this financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give a flying fizzle if you buy Palantir or not. Honestly, it does not make a difference. At the end of the day, I just speak about a stock that I'm invested in. I speak about a company that I'm invested in. And I think that it's pretty funny how people still doubt Palantir is a legitimate company. You might not like it. You might not like what they stand for, and that's okay because I love what they stand for. I love they stand for United States. I love they stand for Israel. I love they stand for our allies. I love that they have a goal in mind, that they do have a story to them, that they are legitimately trying to make America better from within. They don't work with the opposition. They work to make America better. And they criticize a lot of Silicon Valley. It's easy for me to invest in a company like this because they are starting to prove themselves. There's a lot of things on the table. There's also a lot of things that can go wrong. Maybe, God forbid, they don't get this contract. AIP boot camps. We were supposed to get 140. We ended up getting 200 demonstrations. We're going to have 350 by the end of this year, 2023. And in 2024, we will be expanding our boot camps to the United States government, military, AIP boot camps. All we need to worry about is the conversion rate of these boot camps to actual clients. And I believe that we're going to be pleasantly surprised. With that said, there, of course, are risks. Maybe we don't get the conversions, although I believe we will. Maybe we don't get these massive contracts, although I think it's in the bag, just like NHS was. And at the end of the day, Palantir might not be a great company for you. It's a great company for me. I want to just explain to you something. Actually, I'm going to show you something. Give me one moment. Check this out. Before I show you that, I wanted to show you this tweet right here. So it's so funny. There's this guy, and he says, Mr. Crypto Bull Run. Now, you guys know I love crypto, and you know I love Palantir. And he says, today I'm asking again, where are them Palantir hyper bulls, kid? And of course, everybody showed up. I gave everyone a heart. If I missed you, I apologize. Never left. Longs added, exactly where we were a year ago at $6. Here, Neo Bull, and I made a post just saying, even with Palantir down and Bitcoin up like crazy, Bitcoin's up 164%, Palantir is up 172%. I think they're still up like 175%, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like, it's just hilarious, right? It's just hilarious. It's look at this schmuck. You all know I'm bullish as F. I can't curse anymore. As fudge on Bitcoin and Palantir. This guy crawls out of his cave. Meanwhile, even with the massive drop, Palantir outperforming Bitcoin. No matter what happens, Palantir will be up at or near the 150 to 200% for the year in gains. And this is somehow a fun moment, and I laugh. And if you look at the comments in my video, it's hilarious, the comments that I'm getting. Palantir literally shot all the way up to 2150. Now, if you know anything about me, I don't give a fizzle because I'm doing a really cool strategy. And my strategy is covered calls, cash secured puts, iron condors, put credit spreads, so on and so forth. If everything I just said to you sounds foreign, that's okay. I will show you what I'm talking about in the easiest possible sense of the word. By the way, public portfolio is up to 557,000. That's beautiful, 557,000. And somehow people tried to troll me saying that I live in my mother's basement. It's funny. So let's go to Palantir, guys. I just want to show you something. Palantir is at $17.15. Now, I'm not trying to be greedy, right? I'm willing to buy Palantir at $17. I'm okay with that. Remember, I was selling calls at 20, at 1950, at 19, 1850, so on and so forth. So I'm collecting premiums the whole time, which I'll explain to you in just a moment. So now I am buying back at 17 as long as Palantir hits 17. If they don't, I'm still collecting money every week just by doing this, printing money. So what you would do is go to trade Palantir options. Now, I'm not suggesting this. I'm just giving you what I did. Over here on expiring dates, go to December 15th, which is 9 days out. You have Thursday, Friday, and then the whole next week. What I would like for you to press is sell, and what I would like you to press is sell a put. If you go down, you could come up with any number you want, okay? I put the number 17 because if I buy Palantir for 17, I'm okay with that. I'm not even mad. If you actually click on this, they're going to give you something called a delta, which is 0.47, which means you're about 50-50 to hit this. You get a little bit more chance of profit because of theta decay and vega. So at the end of the day, you're about 65, 66% chance of profit that this is not going to happen. Okay, so they're thinking there's going to be a push back. But if you click on this, you're getting 55 cents per share. One contract is 100 shares. So if you do one contract, you're getting $54 per 100 shares. All right. If you do the math really quick, you take 100 times 17, you're talking about $1,700. 10% of $1,700 would be $170. You're collecting $53. So you're collecting approximately 3% on your money for 1 week. If Palantir does not hit 17, you keep the money, you do nothing. If Palantir hits 17, the worst thing that happens is you buy Palantir for $17. The thing is, you take 17 and then you minus by 55 cents, which is the premium they are collecting. So you're actually paying $16.45 for the shares. This is a fabulous, fabulous way to play Palantir. If, for example, this trade comes in at $17, what you can then do is, instead of sell a put, you press sell a call. And then you say, I'm willing to sell my shares that I bought for $17, for $17.50, for $18, for $18.50, or even $19. So if I were to buy these shares at $17, I would be willing to sell the shares at $20. Go to sell a call. Boom. Boom, right? If I were to sell the same as I call, I will go to that $20 mark. And if I was selling my shares at $20, I would collect 8 cents, or I would end up collecting my $7, $8 per every 100 shares. So I would collect 55 cents for putting this trade in, saying that I'm willing to buy Palantir at 17 right now. No matter what, I collect that money. And if Palantir does not hit 17, luckily, maybe it'll be 17.05, just out of 17. Guess what? I'm going to rebook that order and say I'll buy a week out again for 17 again, and I'm going to collect my premium again. 50 cents plus 50 cents, I'm now reducing instead of 17 to 16. And guess what? Then I put a sell for 20. If it doesn't hit 20, I put a sell in for 20 again. I put a sell in for 20 again. And I am collecting a shit ton of premium every single week. It's a very lucrative salary. Once you get it through your head that nothing goes straight up and nothing goes straight down, and find yourself a middle ground, which is around that $20 mark for me, then you could maximize the amount of gains per each trade and each stock that you hold. It's not rocket science, guys. Thank you very much. Hit me up in the comments down below if you have some questions. If you want to learn more about options, please join the channel members. It's $3 a month. Guys, it's the best $3 value you're ever going to get. Some people take advantage and actually implement the plays that I talk about. Not that I'm advising anybody to do that, but a lot of people, this just goes over their head, and people are not willing or scared or frightened to try new things. But I'm showing you my plays for my channel members. A lot of my plays here. Bro, it's lucrative. That's all I got to say. And for everybody hiding in the caves, coming out, talking all this shit, man, fudge you. Straight up. This stock ain't for you. Get a life. Stop wasting your time because I'm too busy making money. Have a great day.